Hey everyone, I wanted to make a quick guide quest guide for beginners who recently started the game or playing for a few months only. And I see it's kind of the most asked questions in Discord always. Which unit do I use? What accessories do I use? What links do I use? Which sites do I use? And I made this guide in order to help you to answer with this guides all the questions you need. It will be general. It will be for every single guide quest with help of sorting and what to sort. You will exactly know on what to use for each guide quest. This week is damage boost Espada times 5 and ranged attack damage. Now this is a bit misleading. It doesn't mean that your unit needs to be Espada. You actually need a unit with Espada killer and ranged. And you see melee damage resistance. This means all your melee damage will be nullified, or basically you do just one damage. So you always want to match those rules, ranged and kill effect. There is some exceptions, but I will get to that later. Now, filter for those units. As you can see, I have quite a few, like Masaki is good, or was one of the best, and now we have the new unit Ulquiorra. How do you know which unit is the best? You want to look for their skills Frenzy in Guild Quests and increase skill effect in Guild Quests. Frenzy is basically your strong attack does hit multiple times, so it's a huge buff. For my case now, Ulquiorra is the best, so that's gonna be my SP lead. You should always have a spiritual pressure unit as lead. Then you're gonna select your knights. It can either be a good not normal attack damage or a buffer for your lead. You can tell if it's a normal attack damage or a speed unit by looking at their stats. If attack is higher than a speed, it's an attack unit. If its speed is higher, it's a speed unit. How do you know which one is the best? Same here. A good rule of thumb is if it's a newer unit, it's better, pretty much. Flurry for normal attacks, since normal attack units mainly rely on their normal attack damage and not strong attacks at all. Increase skill effects again. Now, you can also select a buffer as your sites. It's usually for faster clear times. Buffing your lead is better. However, this is more for experienced players to like one-shot waves, to reach that extra break point. You need like 20 or 40% more damage for your lead to one-shot, which makes the normal attack damage side obsolete because it doesn't even get to attack. You basically just wipe off the whole map in one strong attack or two, so they don't even get to attack. You gonna go to your sort filter again and sort by attribute affiliation. You should first sort by one of those and then for both. If you preferably you want both of those because it's gonna give you the accurate boosts and the best boosts. You go to skill tabs, filter increased affiliation attribute damage and damage to affiliation attribute element afflicted enemies. Make sure to match any, because most likely I think there are no units who have both, so, and it doesn't even matter, so just pick any. You want one of those buffers or even two. And in this case, for example, the Cells, the pink hair guy, has a 40% buff to hard attribute Arankarar, which is Ulquiorra, and the second Stark has also hard attribute strong attack damage. Now the first Stark for me has a 20% element of affected damage for enemies, but you don't want to stack modifiers. You preferably want two different modifiers, because if you played other games and know a little bit of how diminishing returns work, the higher a stat goes, the less you get from it because of how percentage increases work. So having another new modifier is just your damage straight up times 1.2 instead of like times 0.4 and then times 0.6 instead. It wouldn't be an actual 20% increase. So you want preferably two different modifiers. Whatever happens, you will need a booster in your team. If your lead has booster, you can use two buffers. If your buffer has booster, it's even better. Some buffers are perfectly made for some specific units, like Tanjiro for the Soul Reapers and so on. Otherwise, the third slot will need to be a booster. So let's go to the booster. You're gonna sort on the skills by booster. You can use any booster you like, preferably if it has a buff for your units. You can use one that gives you shields if you have time to keep hard time to keep up full stamina damage. If your clears take longer, there's really no avoidance taking damage, because even if you dodge, it's just so many enemies. Some of them have poise, don't even get knocked back. And yeah, shields are really cool, and you don't lose anything of having it. And preferably you want to match the ailment. We will get to that later why. Since all of your damage is gonna come from your SP unit, you don't want the enemies to be afflicted by different ailments and losing your ailment extra damage from your main unit. For example, if Ulquiorra has weakened and then some other unit paralyzes them, you basically lose the 20% or 25% damage to weakened. And there you go, your team is ready. So now we're gonna go to accessories for the lead. Now this varies a lot depending on the unit, their base stats, if stick is available, and their special move level and accessories level and much more stuff. For more accurate info for this section, you can join your local Bleach Discord, but I will give you a rules of thumb for your general examples. If it's a 1 out of 5 SP unit, you want to have your strong attack damage item for whatever affiliation it has. For example, the chair is for Rancor and Spatters, so the badge is for Soul Reapers and Captors, and so on. You will see it. You get double the bonus if it matches. Slot 2, Killa, Sticker, if available. If not, like Squad 0 doesn't have a killer sticker, you're gonna go for Misanga. And now if you previously went for sticker, you can also put the extra kill effect from Misanga. Or use an SP item of 50%. It's really good for 1 out of 5 SP units. It gives you a big buff. Or the speed ball back, depending if it's a ranged or melee unit. Now in this case it's a ranged unit, so you want the ball. If it's a 2 out of 5 unit, pretty much the only thing that changes is that you, instead of the SP item, you can use additionally the fortification pill. So whatever you have available. And as I said, it varies a lot depending on your unit. Sometimes the pill is going to be worse than the back sometimes is going to be better. It really depends on the stats and how many affiliation bonuses you have, attribute bonuses, all that matters in terms of the diminishing returns. So yeah, like in example, Kenny has a very high base strong attack damage. So in this case, it will get replaced due to diminishing returns. He has like 130 strong attack damage. So the extra 20%, 35% aren't really 20 to 35%. They're much less. And also for competitive scores, there's like crazy setups like Tenchi ties or something very situational where you needed to reach some breakpoints to pass over some time walls. But again, you don't need to worry about that. You're new, you just want to clear, you want to get those orbs. So you can use all this as a general rule of thumb. If your sites are buffers or boosters without killer effect, just leave them empty. They will do 0 damage. They have no killer. They probably aren't even ranged. It literally contributes 0 to it. Don't even bother. Like it doesn't do anything. If you have Mugetsu, use them on one of them or your booster. He buffs your whole team's strong attack damage by 20%, which is very huge. If your side is a DPS instead of a buffer, like a normal attack damage, you go the Cheppy or whatever it's called, Bunny, and Sticker or Misanga, whatever is available. Sticker is more damage, but some affiliations have no sticker. And there you go, accessories are done. So let's move to the final section, links. You want to prioritize full stamina damage and reduction. You always want the reduction to be there. So reduction is #1 priority to have. And full stamina only increase strong attack damage. Now this is not really strong attack damage. It's not the same kind of stat. It's another modifier. That's why people pick it. Same reason, diminishing returns. So you want to avoid strong attack damage if you have FSD and full stamina strong attack damage. If you don't have, you move to the second point, strong attack damage and reduction. If you don't have any strong attack damage because your account is very new, you want reduction. Reduction is always the highest DPS. And now if you don't have any matching attributes like purple for Ulquiorra or whatever your color is, you still want to put units with recharge time. Recharge time is so important. Even though you won't get the stats from your link units, you want that fast spamming strong attack. If your lead is 20 triple 20, you get 30% of your link stats if they're the same color, excluding the focus stat. So it's important to also level your links if you want to maximize the damage. The damage boost you can get out of this is massive. It's basically just having double the damage. If it's like 1 out of 5 unit link unit, you obviously do Transcendence level 10 on SP. You want to max out SP. If possible, also do them triple 20 because you are able to select then the bonus abilities, which can also be at level 15 SP and level 20 attack. First it's SP, second attack. Attack doesn't contribute much at all, but it does add some damage to your strong attacks. It's like a very tiny portion of it boosts your strong attack damage. So it does benefit, but not that much. And as you can see with decently leveled up units, you can get up to 1,500 or even more, depending on how much you upgraded your links or if they're max Transcendence level, having that extra speed roll on the 6th slot. Just a quick note, which I just found out that there is an actual sheet list on which links are the best, because people just do shitty tier lists without any information. This actually shows you their stats and what you go for. Basically, full stun only damage is what you prioritize, then FSD. So with this sheet, you can actually snipe or check which characters you're missing or need as links to get the most out of it. Now this is actually sorted by the most valuable playing at the top and then going down to the bottom. There is some easy to get like Senkamon chats, pretty much the best link because you can use it for everything and everyone, and you can get him from the Senkamon tower. Especially now with the new one, you can get I think up to 3 per Senkamon. I'm sure you can get 3 because I had them 2 out of 5 and now I maxed 1 out. But yeah, that's it. Just a quick note I added afterwards. Step 5, which is links for your DPS side. Preferably you want full stamina damage and normal attack damage, or even if you have, I don't have any, full stamina only normal attack damage. This means that you have like more modifiers, less diminishing returns. If you don't have full stamina damage or full stamina only normal attack damage, you just go for normal attack damage. And yeah, if you don't have matching attributes, just go normal attack damage. And that's already it. Congratulations. Now, just having this all in mind, you can do your gal quests about like 90% optimized, 95%. As I say, there's exceptions, but you don't need to worry about those as a new player. This was my team for Ranged Espada. Ignore Stark, his accessories. I was trying Momo out, and then I figured, hey, Ulquiorra maxed out. If I give him a little bit more buffing damage, he will one-shot the waves. I'm reaching that breakpoint where I don't need a normal attack thing, so just boom, 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 and you're good to go. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. I'll also put a video as an example, GQ, what it looks like to be like endgame. I also started myself playing January, so I'm to be considered a new player, but I spent way too many hours grinding different stuff, point events, getting like 50,000 orbs within like 2 months, summoning all of it, and I did set up my account pretty well within 4 months to be able to get 50-second clears in the GQ's gal quests for most of them. Now some I also have struggles, like I'm missing Tanjiro and all that stuff, but yeah, don't want to bore you too much with that. Thank you everyone for being here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah, who knows if I ever will do another one. I just wanted to put this one out. See you. Bye bye.